Hello everyone and welcome to another Bible journaling video. Today I'm working in Psalm 139 and I'm preparing my page with Liquitex matte gel medium because I'm going to stamp on it later. I'm using a foam brush to add a thin layer of the medium and I will just let it air dry. And while waiting for it to dry I'll just study the text a little bit more. I'm using a ribbon from Prima Marketing from the Creating in Faith collection. And I'll just lay it on my page to see where I want to have it. If you remove the backing from it, you can see through it, so it's really easy to position your ribbon. When you know where you want to have it, you will just lay it down and you can rub it with your popsicle stick. The sticks come with the ribbons, but you could also use a bone folder. I just use the stick that's in the package. I will rub it completely one time before I'll check if everything adhered well. I will just pull up a little piece of the release paper to see if the ribbon is adhered. And if there are places where it didn't stick to the page, I will just rub it again. And this way I will check the whole entire ribbon and I will just work my way through it. I'm using some flower stamps from Winnie and Walter. I will add some links on my blog to every specific stamp set and ribbons and everything, so if you want to know what I use, you can look over there. I'm just using this stamp set to see where I want the flowers and which flower I want. That's a great thing about the clear stamps, you can see through them so you can position them a little bit more. I'm using black archival ink to ink my stamp. I will stamp it off on a regular paper first to see if everything is inked up well. Then I'll just ink it up again and stamp it on my page. I added a couple of papers behind my page, this makes the stamping a little bit easier. And it doesn't matter if I get a little bit off the page because there will be another piece of paper beneath it. The stamping on the Bible pages isn't really different than any other stamping, so you just need to be sure that you ink up the stamp really well and that you'll add an even pressure on the entire stamp. Because of the matte medium, the page is a little bit more slippery than regular paper, so you just have to be careful that you don't move your stamp while stamping it. I'm using the inside of the flower too, and for this stamp I will be using second generation stamping. So I will just ink it up and then I will stamp it on some piece of scrap paper. And then I'll stamp it on my Bible page. So the ink won't be really deep black but more of a grey. So I didn't want to have the really harsh black dots on the page. So you can see that I stamped it on the paper first and then I'll stamp it on my Bible. And I'll do the same thing for the other flower. So I'll ink it up and I will stamp it on the paper and then on my Bible page. To finish the flowers I will just add a couple of leaves and then the stamping for this page will be done. I'm going to color my pages with some Derwent color pencils. I will try to add the specific colors too, but these are just two colors of green and that's what I color the leaves with, and then I'll use a couple of other colors for the flowers. Most of the time I will add a darker tone and a lighter tone of each color, so I can get a little bit more depth in the coloring. There isn't too much to explain about coloring, so I'll just turn up some music and let you watch me coloring. To make the colors a little bit more intense and to make the blending a little bit better, I will use some odorless mineral spirits on the entire colored image. I'm using a paper stump to do this, and the paper stump will get some color on it, so between every color I will clean the paper stump and add some new odorless mineral spirit to it. I'll just do this for the entire image, and it isn't necessary, but it does make the colors a bit more intense. I cut out a couple of masks from post-it paper for the stamps, and I'm using a mini ink blender to add the background color. I'm using some distress ink, and I will add it to the ink blender, and I will tap it off a couple of times on some scrap paper so I don't get any hard edges. And I'll start on the mask so that prevents the hard edges too. I'll just add a little bit of pressure, and then I'll blend the color out on the page. I will remove the mask and then you can see the effect it gives. And that finishes my page for today. I'll show you the back side because it didn't really bleed. And that's it. If you want to see more, just visit my blog or subscribe to my page. Thank you for watching.